Hey guys, this is Ms. G. I had some questions over place value today, so I wanted to give you a quick review. So if I look at this chart, what is this called? You're right, it's the place value chart. So if I look at the place value chart, what pattern do you see happening? I have a period, which is this one. It's actually called the decimal. So here, I know this is where my decimal is. The place value here, we have the ones. And what happened when I got from the ones to the tens place? We added a 0. What does that mean? I needed how many ones to make that 10? You're right, I need 10 of them. So then how many tens did I need to make this 100? I needed another 10. So I had 10 tens to make that 100. How many hundreds to make the 1,000? I need 10 hundreds to make that 1,000. So I'm adding a 0 each time. That's telling me I needed 10 of them to make the next place value, and the pattern continues each time. Why do I have a comma here, and why is it always located there? I'll give you some time to think about it. You're right. That's because the place value chart has a pattern. If you look at it, it's 1, tens, hundreds, comma, and it continues. Ones, tens, hundreds, comma. Ones, tens, hundreds, comma. That's how we know where our commas go. If I look on this side where I have my decimals, it's a little different because these numbers are going to look different. You're right, they don't look different. They're the same numbers. But on this side, we won't have any commas. So looking at this chart and looking at these numbers, I have two numbers or two digits that are the same. My digits here is that's a 6 and that's a 6. So if I bring out the whole number, that's 2, 6, 6, 8, decimal 3, 5. How do I read this number all together? Try it out. You're so right. That's 2,668 and 35 hundredths. Awesome job. So if I look at these digits, I have a 6 here and I have a 6 here. Whenever I have the same digit, that means I had a relationship of times 10 or times 1/10 somewhere. So I'm looking at the values here. What's the value of this 6 right here? Yeah, that's 600. Good job. What's the value of this 6 here? Yeah, you're right. That's 60. How did I get that? Because if I look at my place value chart, I have my 8 in the ones place, 6 in the tens, making 6 times 10 is 60. 6 in the hundreds, that tells me 6 times 100 is 600. And right there, I'm making the connection of expanded notation. So when I look at these numbers, and I'm thinking about TEK 4.2a, I'm making connection between the relationship of these two numbers. So if I look at this is telling me 600 is 10 times greater than 60. Because the place values are right next to each other. Excuse me. The place values are right next to each other, so I know that it's times 10. So if I go backwards and I think of the other way around, 60 is 1/10 of 600. Because they're right next to each other and I'm going backwards. This is telling me, if I write this in an equation, this says 10 times 60 equals 600. That's true. If I look at this one, 60 is 1/10 of 600. This is saying 1/10 times 600 equals 60. An easier way to think about it is 600 divided by 10 equals 60. So here's when I'm thinking of the relationship between two digits that are the same, that are right next to each other. But then we have the question, well, if I have 30 tens, how many hundreds is that? How many hundreds do I need to be equivalent to 30 tens? Well, earlier we said to get to the tens place, we needed to multiply times 10. So when I go backwards, I need to divide by 10. And since hundreds are bigger, I need less of them. So if I look at this, 30 tens is actually equivalent to 3 hundreds. Really, all I had to do was get rid of the 0 because I know hundreds are bigger, so I need less of them. So if I think of it backwards, let's say I have 6 hundreds. And I want to see how many tens are equivalent to 6 hundreds. Well, because I need more tens, because tens are smaller, I need to multiply this times 10. 6 times 10, you're right, that's 60. So I know 6 hundredths is equivalent to 60 tens. If you guys have any questions regarding place value, guys, just comment below and I'll try to answer as soon as I can, okay? Awesome job, guys.